Hello. This is Raquel with Paints and Glitter. Okay, I see your chat now, Nicole. Welcome. Okay, so you can see no problem. All right, because I'm a stickler about zooming in so people can see what I'm doing. All right, so let's start with the little ears of the little mice. And what I'm using here is a little peach tone. This is 373. And this is just a barely there tan. And these are Nuvo markers. However, I'm going to be using whatever's in my stash. So I'll also be using Pro markers, which I highly recommend, by Winsor & Newton. These are probably the best alcohol markers I've ever used. And then if that changes, I'll let you guys know, okay? But let's get started. I like to use the darkest color first, because then I can blend it out. So I'm just going right at the crease here of the ears. And what I'm using is a pounce motion, just like little dots. And this way I don't get ahead of myself. And I'm barely adding color. And then with the second color, can add a little bit more. And then that will blend out because, of course, alcohol-based colors blend together very easily, and that's the appeal behind these types of markers, right? So, oh, wonderful. I'm so glad you can see. So I'm just going to add again a little bit of that peach here. They have little, I don't know what I mean, I don't think mice have hands, right? I wouldn't call it hands. But then you can blend that out. Blend that out. And these are little white mice, which explains the coloring with the peaches and whatnot. The little peach and cream. And then the little tail will be darker at one end. And then I'm going to also make it darker right on the little tip there. And of course, as you can tell, you can barely even see this, but I am going to show you in just a second what that will look like, because I'm barely touching the paper. But because this has such great pigmentation, it doesn't matter. It's still going to make a difference. So let me show you just so far what I have here. You see that? It's barely there, but it's enough color to change that from white. Now, if you see that coloring outside the lines, I'm going to show you a little trick a little later as to how we can fix that. So don't ever, bug out about that too much. I'm going to give them a little pink nose, but I'm going to use this pink, which is the Pro Marker Pale Pink. So that's just a little bit of a different pink there. And you can do as much or as little of that as you like. I'm also going to then go back with a very light gray. Let's see if I can find it here. This one's 487 from Nuvo. And of course, guys, if you're new to coloring, you're going to want to swatch out your colors. It's good to always have like a little scrap. Let me show you what I typically do. So you see that little scrap of paper? Hello. Gonna open it and do that, so that you become familiar with the shades of what you're using. Now here, just like any kind of drawing, if you see an illustration that has little lines, if you're uncomfortable with coloring on your own, follow the little lines that have already been placed there by the illustrator, and that'll give you a very good idea as to where the shadow should go. So I know that underneath the little arm there, if the light was coming from this direction, then there would be a shadow there. If there's an overlap, there would be a shadow. So you can add as much or as little of that as you like. Then there's these little lines down here. And I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of shadow just on this edge as well. And this is a very barely there type of coloring, but it does make a difference. It adds a little bit of depth. I'm going around the neckline there, underneath the chin area there, if you will. I don't know. I'm describing this like a human being, but you guys get what I mean. Same here for this little guy or girl. So you can make them female or whatever. And then here also on the outside there, just on the edge, underneath the leaf in this area, and you see a lot of sketch lines there. That's a great indication that you should be adding shadow there. So basically they made it, you know, or she made it very easy to color in, even for a novice, I think. So let me show you the little bit of gray. And you guys let me know if you want me to go faster or if you want me to keep showing you the little details like that. Now, you could blend this out if you wanted to add another color. I'm just going to leave it like that because I'm doing a very minimal amount of color on these. In fact, I forgot to add a little bit under here and over here. Just dotting it again. Now, let's go in with, I'm actually going to use, I think it was this color. Let me see here. I'd like to use kind of like a beige. Maybe not. Dark beige for the little tree. There we go. So this color is $4.79, and as you can tell, it's just a beige. It's not a dark brown because the illustration is so dainty that I don't want to make it too dark. If not, it might kind of disappear on me, and I hope that makes sense. But here I'm just coloring in the stems. And again, very light touch to the paper so that it doesn't smudge all over the place. And I'm actually going to use the same color on this little gift box as if it were craft paper. So I'm going to take my other beige color, the lighter one, sorry, this one, and then I'm still using the same one, the $4.79. For that, I'm just going to go all around the edge here underneath the bow, and then just on the outline basically of that. So I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Hi Sandra, welcome. Thank you for joining us, sweetheart. And yeah, we had a very peaceful, easy Thanksgiving. I made my Puerto Rican dishes that I like to make, and it was just very I don't know, the simplest Thanksgiving ever, I think, right? Because sadly people are being discouraged from seeing one another and all that jazz. But okay, let me show you what this looks like. Now I can darken this up more, but if you see that, all I did was add the darker one right at the edges and then fill it in with that lighter tan color. No, nothing complicated here. I'm going to continue on with, let's see here. You know what? I think I want to get all that beige out of the way, beige and brown, if you will. So let me go in. I'm going to use the same two markers here. And makes it, well, you know what? Follow along, sweetheart. If you have some coloring to do, I know that for me, I like to listen to something in the background, some music, that sort of thing. But today I thought, well, really, I wanted to try out doing a live video with a different camera angle, but that was an epic fail. So here I am doing it like this. Okay, so just to let you know, do you see here? I only applied my dark color on the bottom half. Same here, bottom half, because the light is coming from the top. And now I'm going to blend in that lighter color. And it'll all make sense. It gives it more depth. So you don't have to go crazy adding tons of color to get the same the effect, I'm sorry, that you're going for. And if you do want to darken it up even a little bit more, then you can go back in. Just dot it. Okay. Super simple. So if you see that, it's not as flat as if you were to color it all one color. So it's good to divide your images into thirds or halves, that sort of thing. I'm now going to go in with, let's see here. Let's do some yellows. Now I have two yellows here. This is an old marker, goodness. This is called Primrose, which is kind of a barely there yellow. Can barely even see that. Yep. And then I have this brighter one, and this one is Buttercup. Love that name. So if you can tell, they're much brighter, but because they're both the same hue, then I can use it as my shadow and highlight. So here on the little piece of Swiss cheese, just again going around the perimeter and around those little circles. And then I'm gonna go back in with the rest of it, just filling it in with this other one. And this is gonna be very pale, very delicate. But it's one of the things that I like about Anita Jeram's illustrations is how delicate they are. Now, let's add the same two colors, okay? We're still using the same two yellows, a light, very, very light yellow, medium yellow, if you will, or brighter. And now let's add in some, let's see, I'm gonna grab kind of like a, yeah, orange. Let's see here. Okay. I have Indian Saffron, which is 405 by Nuvo. I'm gonna take a look at that one. I think that's gonna be quite bright, but not the orange I'm looking for. And then I have this one, 389, which is Honeycomb. And this leans more toward orange, so I'm gonna go with that one. And bear with me, guys. Let's see here. This is called Spiced Orange. That's gonna be the darkest orange that I will use here, very sparingly. So let's begin with, I'm checking the chat, so if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm gonna put my bright yellow down as my base color here. And you can use the chisel edge if you want to, but because I'm adding so little color, I'm just making like a circular motion here with the tip of my pen because I want to add texture. Okay, and if you notice, I'm leaving the perimeter of that little orange with no color at all. Okay. Did you guys have a good Thanksgiving? Did y'all do anything traditional? This is the honeycomb. I'm just going to go in with a tiny bit of that. Also, where all of the little lines are already on my drawing here. And on the little creases of that orange. And a little bit at the bottom to add some shade. No, not true. You know, I don't think you're alone on that. Did I say hello to everyone? Yes, I did. Okay. If I could get 4 thumbs up on this video, I would be most grateful, since I have 4 people here, or 3. I don't know if 4 is me on my phone. But now I'm dotting here this very bright orange, if you can tell. That 375 plum tomato. Oh, wait, I grabbed the wrong one. Sorry, guys. It was supposed to be spiced orange. Oh, well. So it's going to be a little more red. But that's okay. I'm going to go back in with that dark yellow, and now I'm going to blend it out. And no one will know that I accidentally did the red, because I'm adding yellow right on top. And that's going to give me kind of an orangey color anyway. It's kind of like cooking when you add a little bit too much of something and you're like, uh-oh, let's balance that out. Oh, gosh. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Phil, yes, you guys don't do Thanksgiving. Yes, I'm aware. It's a U.S. thing. Well, it's interesting, Phil, because, for instance, I'm from Puerto Rico. So we are, you know, technically part of it's a U.S. territory, but we don't do Thanksgiving like North Americans do either, you know, because here in the U.S. it's all about the turkey. And we're not, you know, a lot of people do, but not everybody. We do different dishes. Okay, so now I'm going in with the very lightest, barely there yellow, And I'm filling in those white gaps I had left on the perimeter there. And this can brighten it up a little bit. I'm still going in that circular motion, by the way. Adding more pigment there at the center. And you can lighten or darken this. I want it to be a little bit brighter, so I am going to go back with that orange, the spiced orange, because I kind of washed out the red. And again, I'm just dabbing this, dot, dot, dot. And now, not everyone spends this amount of time coloring an image, and I'm aware of that. But if you can take anything away from this video, I hope that you do. I hope that you see that coloring can be a lot of fun, very therapeutic. If you're having a bad day, pick up a pen and add some color to a piece of paper. It can be very healing, in my personal opinion, of course. Absolutely. 2 turkeys? Oh yeah, because you guys do turkey at Christmas. So yeah. See, to me, turkey, and please don't think I'm meaning offense by saying this, but I believe turkey is the most overrated meat in the world. I'm sorry. It's just not my thing. So there's my little orange. So you see how that blended out? But that's going to give it texture. And once it dries, it's not going to be as mottled as what you see there. It'll kind of calm down, if you will. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of that spiced orange. This hay bale. I'm sorry, over here. I've got spiced orange, hay bale, and I've got pink grapefruit. I'm going to do the cupcake now. Yes, a lot of people like it. I think it's a sentimentality thing, to be honest. You know, you associate the food with the people who made it and all that stuff. At least that's what I'm convinced of. I really think it's just, you know, the tradition and all that stuff. Okay, so here's my pink grapefruit right on top of that beige color. Okay, because I'm giving myself a cute little wrapper there. And then right in the center of that cupcake, it's got a little bit of frosting, if you will. And then I'm going to go in with that spiced orange, just tiny, tiny bit there. Okay. So as you can tell, that peach and tan color then also just blend right into one another. If you leave yourself little spaces of white, don't worry about that. It just adds to the whimsy of your image. Okay. Now, let's go in with some blue, because I love blue. So I'm going to set aside a few of these. It's a little bit crowded in here. I have got here a Pro Marker in Denim Blue. I may use this as my shadow. I've got a brighter one here that is Cool Aqua. And then from Nuvo, I've got this Skylight Blue, because it's a barely there kind of blue. Well, you know what, Phil? It's more, I wouldn't say wrong. I would say that it's perspective. You know, you can take an image and kind of break it down into steps. I like to have my dark, medium, light colors because within the space, it allows me to have depth of foreground, midground, background. So if you look at your shadow, let's just say this is our shadow color, right? It's a more muted blue. This is my background color. So it's only going to go in the little spaces where I want shade to hit. Okay, that's my background color. Now I'm going to go with the brighter blue, which is my middle ground. Kind of like a stage, if you will. And this is going to catch the eye. But I want this to look like the light is hitting it. So I'm going to leave myself a space here and there. Say that much, okay? the light's going to hit it right there, okay? Now, naturally, because there are two objects in front of it, it's going to be darker in this direction. So I'll go ahead and fill that up. And again, I'm just pouncing my pen, okay? Or marker. Now, where it's going to be the lightest, where the light caught it, now I can go in with my lightest color. And I can definitely drag in a little bit of the rest of the color, but you don't have to. You can just go right over that little bit. And it's not entirely bright, but you can also go back in with a white pen if you really want to be technical about it. And just dab a little white right on top of your highlight there. This is just a paint over pen from Jane Davenport, by the way. I think my husband's home. Mark? Husband?
Yes.
Hi. My husband's home, guys.
Hi. Making fire.
He's making the fire. Okay, so there's the blue. Yes, you don't want to make this too monochromatic because then it'll be extremely boring. But there's my little pot there. Now, I did add that white ink on top, but you could just as well leave it blank. And then you get your little highlight there. Okay, let's go ahead and add all of the red here because that's going to be pretty quick. And I'm not going to be technical about this at all. I'm just going to dot my little... what are these called? Berries? Holly berries? That's what they're called. Holly berries. Okay. And I might make that bow red, okay? Bottom half only, even though I said I'm not going to be technical, but, you know, bottom half only on the ones that are big enough. So that way you can give yourself that shine. And if you want to, you know what, I'm just going to leave them like that. Let's go in with our green that we're going to use. And here, I think I'm only going to use 2 colors of green. I might change my mind, but I'm using G339, which is meadow green. And then this one is called bright green. Now, meadow green is very light. Barely there. So again, I'm going to start with my brightest. Oh, thank you, Sandra. Mark, Sandra says hello. Mark. Oh, I don't know where you went. I said Sandra said hello.
Hi.
He says hi, Sandra. He's putting wood in the fire, even though I'm melting over here. I'm hot. Okay, so I'm going in all of the little spaces there where you see the lines. I'm targeting those as the darkest places on my image. And I promise you guys this is going to be over before you know it. So I'm going to keep going here. Just where I want that to be really dark. Do I have a TM? Do you mean a Tuesday morning? Let me zoom in a little bit more. There we go. Oopsie. Sorry, guys. I want you guys to be able to see this. TM, as in a Tuesday morning, because that's what I call TM. I'm going over with this very light green again, leaving myself little spaces where I want highlight. It's not necessary to color the entire image. And again, I'm just dotting, dotting, dotting. I'm going to go over the ivy, little dots here and there. And then this leaf also. And on these ivy leaves, you can go darker if you want. You can go lighter. You can do whatever you like. It's really up to your comfort level and the look that you're going for. I wanted to keep it with the sampling of what Anita Jeram's books actually look like. Okay. Okay, so yeah, Sandra, to answer your question, we have a I almost said Tim Holtz. We have a Tuesday morning that is about, I would say 25 minutes away from me now. My closest one closed, sadly. And I forgot the ornament, guys. I wanted to make that red. And as far as Hobby Lobby, it's, again, kind of like 30 minutes away, 25, 30 minutes away. I colored in the little baubles red and blue. And now I'm going to go in with a very light gray for my little bell. I'm so sad that the Tuesday mornings had to close so many stores, because that is my favorite place to go shop at. All right, just to show you here, I'm leaving myself that little white edge there. Okay. And I'm going to go back with the very lightest blue. I believe it was this Tonic. Yep. Just right on top of the gray. And a little bit over. Not too much. Now for the star, I'm going to add, let's see here, a little tiny bit of this plum tomato. Or maybe not that dark. Hold on a second. I'm going to use this watermelon color. This is 377. This one there. Markers. Are you serious? Oh my gosh, I would cry. Be like, no, don't throw them away. That's insane. I don't know why people do that. I mean, I find it to be so rude, you know, that, you know, to open a package and then just put it back and that type of thing. Ooh, that gets under my skin. I used to work retail, so, oh, I can't handle it. All right, I'm going in with that very bright yellow now. And I'm just going to go ahead and fill it all in this case, because I am going to put some glitter right on top of that anyway. But it won't look bad either way. It just has a tiny bit of shadow there. And am I forgetting anything? I think my little cheese here needs a little bit more color. Whoopsie. Dropped my marker there. So I'm just going to go in with this. This is a Spectrum Noir. I think this may have come from Tuesday morning. And it's just kind of iffy to buy them when they're at a store that's discounted, and I get that part, but I just think, like, if you're in doubt, just ask about the return policy, but don't go opening the stuff. Like, trust me. Oh my gosh. Oh, this brand, yes, the Pro Markers, I think, wait a minute. Was it Pro Mark? No, the Spectrum Noirs, yes, these did come from Tuesday morning. And those are good. You know, they just don't last as long as these are professional grade Winsor Newton markers. So these are going to last you forever and a day. Whereas the Spectrum Noir, those are going to dry out on you eventually. Hi, Karen. Yes. Okay. Well, all right, to be completely honest, you get what you pay for. Okay. That's what happens with any craft medium. It doesn't matter what it is. Let me zoom in. I feel like I'm leaving you guys out in the dark. Actually, let me move this. I'm such a fool. I could have taken this off all along. I'm going to answer your question. Just hang with me for a second. All right. I like to color on this platform, and I forget that I can take off that little lid. All right. So to answer your question, my preference is Pro Markers above all of them. They are, however, pricey. If you can get them on sale, like today, they're on sale here and there, then I would highly recommend these, because they're like Copics, in my opinion. I don't do professional illustration for a living, so I don't spend money on Copics, because I feel like it's not warranted for an image that's going to go on a little card in the mail. You know what I mean? But these Nuvo markers, if you're just starting and you don't want to yet break the bank or invest too much, I do recommend these because they are alcohol markers as well. They are not refillable. Neither are the, these Pro markers are not refillable either. But let me zoom out a second. Let me show you. These come with this nib, which is thin, and also with the chisel nib. So that is excellent, okay? Allows you to do a lot. The same for the Pro markers. You get your chisel nib and then the thinner one on the other end. Where's the other one? These, I would say, if you have no other recourse, if there's nothing else, then get these. But try to get them brand new. If you get them from a place like Tuesday Morning, they've been around for a while. So don't be surprised if you get a dry one out of the bunch, because that's happened to me. All right. So these are my least favorite, if I had to say that, you know. But I'm going to show you the, you know, they're very nice and vibrant, however. So let me zoom back in so we can continue coloring. We are almost done with this image. I promise. I wanted to add a little pink here to this candy wrapper. And let me see here. I'm looking at my other, the other coloring that I did for reference. So here's what I did. I looked at her image on the packaging, and they added little stripes to this, and I thought that that was so cute. So I figured, you know what? Let me copy that. Okay, so I'm just going to add a tiny little stripe here, and this is probably the wrong pen to be using for this, but in any case, you get the idea. It has stripes, sort of. I think I may have used a smaller marker for that the last time. But now that has little stripes, and I think I missed the foot of this little guy, so I'm going to add a little peach down here. Missed his little foot. So now to add the shadow here on the bottom, depending on what kind of scenery you're doing, you may want to add a dark scenery with, what do you call those? The inks. You could do that. I'm going to keep it very light. So I'm going to go back in with a Nuvo marker that I like, which is, where are you? Here we go. Hay Bell. Yeah, see that the more expensive ones, this is $4.79 and it's called Hay Bell. The Sandra, or I'm sorry, Karen, the bow. Oh yes. Sandra, thank you. Oh gosh. The more expensive ones you can refill. So that's the other thing. The lifetime of your marker will be longer if it's a better brand and a better quality and all of that. The Copics, for example, which are, you know, $6 to $7 a piece, if depending on where you grab them, those are refillable. So if that is something that you intend on doing day in and day out, it may be well worth the investment for you. For me, because I've invested in so many other supplies, I just couldn't see myself doing that. But if I was doing, you know, illustrations all the time, then yeah, absolutely. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm using the Spectrum Noir FS3. This is kind of like a peachy cream color. And I'm just blending that out a little bit there, because again, I'm just trying to keep it light. And you could also do this in blues. You can do it in whatever other color you want. This is actually a little bit darker, I'm sorry, on the bottom than the last one that I did. And let's finish that bow before Sandra has a fit. No, I'm kidding. Let's go with the fresh watermelon, and you know what? I had some other ones. I had a feeling I had more Pro markers. They're sitting right in front of me and I didn't even see them. Okay. Fresh watermelon, just to keep it nice and consistent here in the color. And again, I'm just dotting it, barely dotting that paper. Okay. And back in with that pink. And then what you do is you dab it right on top of that previous color. And it's almost like you're borrowing part of that color to blend out with the rest. Okay, so I think we are done with this image. Now, if you know me, you know I like to add some glimmer to my stuff, right? So let's do that. Because after all, it is a Christmas scene. I'm gonna set aside all these markers because I don't like messes and they will start rolling everywhere. So let me just set those aside, put them back where they belong. And I have these caddies, by the way. If you're interested, if you like to know how, you know, to put things away, let me zoom out. These came from IKEA. And you see this little hook? I put them right on my rolling cart. And it's perfect for this sort of thing. So if you're looking for a way to put your pens away, I highly recommend these. They fit quite a bit. So I just put them right back on the edge of my rolling cart. You can see my jammies. Thumbs up if you like my jammies. All right, let's do the glimmer. I get rambling. Glimmer and glitter. Trying to find my glitter pen here, guys. Bear with me. Here we go. I think I had not used that. Sometimes I'm a little too quick to put things away. But if you wanted to, you could go real crazy with, see these glitter pens like that? You can make them super bright. Thank you, Karen. You're generous. I'm just like, you know what? Thanksgiving weekend? What? Dress up? Not today. I think this is the color. I'm trying to remember the color that I used. Here it goes. I was trying to keep it really light. All right, so I see 8 people in the house. Do you remove? Please don't give me a thumbs down for being lazy and not dressing up for you guys. If you don't like my jammies, you gotta give me a what do you call it? A GoFundMe instead of a thumbs down. I need a GoFundMe so I can buy better jammies. I'm just kidding. My husband's gonna be like, what? What is she talking about? All right, so I just added a little bit of gold. I don't know if these have a name. Nuvo needs to get with the program on that. There's no name there. Just kidding. It's okay, Sandra. I got you, girl. You can tease me. I'm okay with that. So I added the glitter there on my little star. Let's go back in. Woohoo! Sorry, I hope I don't make anyone dizzy. And now I'm gonna go in with this jelly roll pen. This is the one that's kind of like a star shimmery color. It's not gray, it's just a shimmer. And I'm gonna use that here on the little bell because let's face it, it might get lost here. And that's why I had left that little white trim, was so that this wouldn't look so dark. And then of course you can go to town with anything else here. COVID PJs, that's right, Phil. That's what they should all be called. It's the COVID uniform, people. Seriously. Because it's like, you know, if you're going to stay that far away from me, then I may as well be comfortable. Oh, gosh. All right, what else do we want to add shimmer to here? Anything else we want to shine up? How about the little bow? And these come in different colors, guys. I'm just very what do you call that? I really like this one. Gosh, I couldn't get that out. So this is what I generally get when when I purchased the Jelly Roll pen, I usually just go with the same one all the time. Sweatpants, yeah. I need to buy some sweatpants. I just, you know, I just can't handle the going out in public in sweatpants. I'm not gonna lie. That just bothers me. Okay, guys, so the other thing that you can do, and let's do a comparison here. So this is the image we just colored together. Okay, and I did say I'm going to show you a little cheat on how to fix your little mistakes. So before I get ahead of myself, let's do that. Always, 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 if you color, have a good white pen. Now, take it from me, not all white pens are created equal. And like I said before, you get what you pay for. Invest in a good white pen if you craft. Do yourself the favor because you will otherwise waste a lot of money trying to find the right one. And I am going to tell you right now that this is probably the best one that I've ever used, and it is made by Signo. And this is the brand there. So you can research that, try to find a good source for it. Yeah, I just, you know what, the other day, and I mean not to be critical because everybody's got their situation, right? But, yes, with Inca Golds, you're right, Karen. You don't even need the pens. In fact, let me show you something real quick. Okay. I have this palette here that I've had for like 52 years. This came, oh gosh, I think I got this, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. Who knows? Maybe 10 years ago. And it's still going strong. And that's another substitute for the little Jelly Roll pens because using just the pearl one is sufficient. So you can definitely add a lot of shimmer to this type of image with just a little water pen and these pearlescent types of watercolor pans. The thing is that you want to be mindful of the kind of paper that you've used and the kind of ink that you've used. So that's why the alcohol markers are great also, because then if you do add a water-based color on top, your alcohol marker is not going to bleed all over the place. And this is 110-pound cardstock. So those little things are important too. Because the last thing you want to do is start coloring an image and then add your shine and boops, you ruined it. So, but yeah, so yeah, I saw someone and I got to thinking, you know, my mom, would make herself a dress with, you know, 3 yards of fabric, right? And this female is walking around in sweatpants and I was like, I don't know that I can be okay with that. Now watch, God's gonna punish me and I'm gonna have to wear sweatpants for 3 months. Okay, so here's the white pen again. I am going right toward that one little bit that I accidentally colored, you know, outside of the line. That's all. Just dab it with white ink, you know, no one's gonna know. Or you can use it, of course, as your highlight. So if there's anything at all that you want to add a little shine to, you can just add a little stippling if you want to, whatever you like. I'm going to leave this alone because I don't feel like it needs much else. What I was going to show you, however, is that on here, I did put Nuvo drops because that's another thing that I like to add to my projects. I think I put some there too. It adds a bit of texture, and then if you happen to have the same color as what you have on your image, then all the better because it's going to just blend right in. So that's the finished one that I did before. This one now I intend on running through my die cutting machine with this die here, which I'm going to show you in just a second. So I was playing around. Oh, and I forgot to show you. I cut this bell out. So let me show you what else I have here. Because it's not just about the image, guys, right? I've got a lot of stuff going on over here because I was messing around. Yes, here it is. Playing around and wanted to see what I could make. So here's the other little image that I colored and I fussy cut it out. Isn't he cute? And then here I did the same thing again by adding stripes to the little packaging so it would stand out a little bit more. And I want to add him to this little bell. The reason being that this little mouse is holding a bell, and I thought that that would be a nice little addition to that because of the project that I'm trying to make. But then I got to looking at my dies, and I found this one, which I have yet to use, Ravishing Swirls. I showed this in a separate video, but this comes with a lot of beautiful layers. So I'm going to use the oval shape to cut this out. And yes, I'm going to lose part of my image, but that's okay. I'm going to try to center this as well as I can. I'm going to use that same washi tape there. So I could do it like this. Oh, what do you guys think? It fits this way too. Should I do it this way? Would you like it like this if you were to receive it, or would you like it like that? Somebody tell me. So do you like it horizontal, landscape, like that? So that way the entire image fits, right? Okay. And you like both, Sandra? I know, it's so hard to decide. All right, let's do, See, this is the issue that I have, is that then there's so many options. But let's make it this way, and if I don't like it, I can do it again. Because that's what ended up happening with the other one, was that I started looking at the shape and all this stuff, and I was like, oh, I kind of like it, but I think I might like it better if it's an oval. I don't know. So here we go. I'm going to make another shape. Now, I'm just going to run this through my die cutting machine. I'm going to set these aside. I'm going to show you those other ones in a moment, but I'm going to put this through. And I have the Anna Griffin Empress, so I do have to face my die cutting side up. Then I always use my my metal shim underneath, just out of habit, but I don't think I even need it. I'll make my little sandwich, and then I'm going to run this through. You guys have any questions so far? I think I might keep this here because it avoids that glare that I always get. And of course that cut out perfectly, as it always does. I always have to kind of shimmy that little washi so I don't destroy my image, but there's that. Okay, so we cut it out in an oval. Now that die shape or die set also comes with a couple of other dies. This is the outermost edge, which I can do in a solid, but if I use this one cuts out a really beautiful border. Yes, Karen, that's another thing that I would, yeah, definitely, highly recommend it. It's well worth it. Oh my gosh, worth every penny. Cannot say enough good things about it, because it was hurting my my hands to use the manual one, which I still use, but I don't use it as frequently as my Empress is what I use every day. So look at that border. How darling is that? Isn't that so cute? And this is TonicStudios Craft Perfect cardstock in, what color is this? Well, in any case, it's a pink glitter, which is kind of like a holographic glitter. Yes, all that cranking stuff. I mean, if I wanted to lift weights, then I would be doing that, but I don't want to do that as I'm crafting, and I have weak hands anyway, so that was not my jam. So I want to use this, but I'm thinking of adding a different color in the background also with just that solid. So naturally, I'm going to look at the colors that I used here, and I'm thinking, let's see here, I want to keep it light. Let me take a look at what I have. Oh, you know what, sweetie? Use my link if you do. By the way, Karen, the whole set is on sale right now at Craft Stash. And it's 3 of them plus the stamps that come with it. And it comes, these are the other ones within that die set, which, as you can tell, I haven't even touched those yet. And they are just absolutely gorgeous. You saw how quickly I was able, oopsie, my hair's falling out. I was able to just cut out that, glitter cardstock with no issue whatsoever. And by the way, I ran this die with that larger one by accident, and I got this piece here, which is also really beautiful. Like if you wanted to add it in a different color, you can do that to give yourself yet another frame. So don't toss these kinds of cuttings. Yeah, you'll see it in my link tree. If you click on my link tree, it'll take you right there. I'm just going to grab a piece of cardstock for the background here so we can cut that too. And I have this minty green, which I think I like. I had to step away for a second, but I think I like this color as the background because it is Christmassy. So let's cut that down and use that. If you hate it, please let me know because this is going to someone. I don't want her to hate it. And if you think I should use a different color, please speak up and let me know. I think I'm gonna cut it, let's see here. 5, I don't know. I have no idea how many inches that is, but I think it's 5. So, yep, 5 will do. I'll cut that out. Let me cover that up. Okay, let's cut out the background, which actually I should do twice, but I'm going to do the other piece in 110 pound cardstock. So that way it's nice and sturdy. So I'm going to cut that down too. Turn that off, it's kind of loud. So let's go in with 110 pound. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad you guys like it because I like green. I don't mind that color, but there are people who just, you know, they see that color and just are like, ugh, you know. And I get it. Not everybody likes the same colors, but I think it's a nice minty kind of green. So I'm gonna do it again because I want my project to be nice and sturdy. This is actually going to be, you don't like it, Sandra? Oh, that's okay. Maybe what I'll do is make my next one in a different color. Or I can ink this. How about I ink it? So that way it's not so in your face kind of green. And I can respect that. Don't worry, sweetheart. You're not going to offend me whatsoever. But see, there's going to be the back. Because it's going to, I have to do a to and from on the back. But here, I will ink this so that it's not so nauseatingly green. But that's, you know, what I have so far. Let's grab a pretty ink color. Whoops, there goes my applicator. In fact, let's see here. I get a little crazy sometimes, but I'm going to try to keep it simple. I have cracked pistachio, and that might make it a little bit softer. I think this is my little dauber. Hi, Elizabeth. Just do you. Oh my gosh, I love that phrase. You do you, girlfriend. I have to tell you, I have a kitchen magnet that's, no, it's not a magnet. It's just one of those little clippings of a cartoon. And it's these two little bunnies, and the one bunny says something like, you know, if you love someone, you share everything, right? And the other bunny's got chocolate in his hands. And he's like, yeah, you do you. I love it. So I'm like, nope, we don't share chocolate around here. Oh, I think it's hysterical. I'm not sure who made the cartoon, but I loved it so much I clipped it out and I saved it. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's save this paper. Actually, you know what? Just gave me an idea. Let's dry emboss it. And I'm going to try to do this and not wreck what I've got going on here, guys. My machine. No, here's the thing with the Empress. It goes off on its own sometimes. Let me see. I'm having to reach down. Don't mind me. Oh, you could probably see the top of my head there. I have this embossing folder. Yay! I was hoping it would fit. And it's kind of like a sweater texture. Let me zoom out again. Sorry, guys. From Richard Garay. So let's emboss it and give it some texture. Yeah, it's one of those things like, you know, only a foolish person would profess to love somebody like that. Like, I love you, but I ain't giving you my chocolate. Let's see here. All right, so I'm running that through. Hopefully I don't ruin the paper, but we'll see what happens. Yes, an Aaron sweater. Thank you, Phil. All right, hopefully I didn't just ruin this. There's one little bit that didn't emboss, but I'm not going to sweat it. Look at what a yummy texture that gave us, right? So, oh, wonderful. Yes, I love that kind of, you know, little detail. So let's go in with the oxide now. And I'm going to go around the perimeter here because, let's face it, no one's going to see the rest. And I'm just going to add that little bit of depth there with a little bit of color. Husband. I don't know if he's awake or not. I'm thirsty. Husband. Calling out to my husband to see if he'll give me some water. Mark? I may have lost him. All right. Okay. So here we are. Now that has a bit more depth to it. And I realize on this camera, I don't know if you guys can actually even see the difference. But hey, we started off with that. And now we have this. I think it's well worth it. And grítale. Búscame agua. I know, right? Sometimes you gotta do that. I'm trying to be classy, y'all. Trying to keep it classy here. Who am I kidding, right? You're like, mira, mijo, tráeme un poco de agua, por favor, que me estoy quemando. Can I beg you for some water, please? Thank you. Oh, poor sweetie. Sitting there drinking, or eating, I should say. I need glue. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm just going to add this to the background now. And I know that I have to stamp this with a to from, but I may have to layer that because I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know where my to from stamp is at the moment. And I don't want to keep you guys here all day. Although I could, if you allowed me to. But I'm just using my Barely Art glue here. And I'm going to start at one end. Oopsie, that's the wrong end. And how does this go? Does it go like this? I have no idea. Guys, I don't know how it goes. What an odd shape. Now I don't know. Does it go like this? No. What am I doing wrong? Help me. My perspective is all wrong. Why am I not seeing it? Here we go. Duh. Okay. Took me 3 hours to figure that one out. Okay. I'm only human. Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. That took me a while. Gracias. Thank you.
You're welcome.
He's such a good man. Brought me some water. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, guys. Takes me a minute. It takes me a minute, but I get there eventually. Okay, so it should not be that complicated. Oh yeah. It's like a Rorschach. What do you see? What do you want me to see? I see that Raquel doesn't see the shape. Psychiatric help stat. All right, so let's put this down. I don't bother with the little frilly bits, by the way. And I hope to God, yes, this is how it goes. I don't know why that stumped me so easily. Has me doubting my own sanity there for a minute. Yeah, the voice. Oh my gosh. All right, so I have to tell you guys a little story. When I was growing up, grew up in the military, and if you don't already know this, you know, Hispanic parents, and so we grew up around all types of nationalities and ethnicities and everything, and that's what I love that about my upbringing, you know. But my mom said she noticed that her neighbors would call out, you know, Johnny, dinner time. And that the kids would just run home. And she was like, oh my gosh. How do they do that? So, hey Wandy. Oh my gosh, thank you for coming. So my mom was like, you know what? I'm impressed by this, you know, how they call their kids and they come home for dinner like so easily and whatever, right? So she said she gave it a try. And my brother's nickname is Pito, which is, you know, if you're Puerto Rican, you know, everybody has a Pito in the family. So she said she stuck her head out the window or the door or whatever. It was like, Pito, Pito. Guess what, guys? It didn't work. Pito, Pito. She had to use her Puerto Rican mom voice to finally get that boy to come home. Oh, because that little American voice was not going to work. But, you know, you can't assimilate with everything. All right, so here's my idea. I was thinking I'm going to add a little bow here and have this little guy just hanging out at the bottom. What do you guys think? You're never going to forget that story. Pito, come home. Mira, muchacho. Súbete, right? That's what our parents would say. Súbete, recógete. Oh my gosh. Oh, you know what? I just got to thinking. I want to color the Camina a comer. Wandy. You probably know all the phrases, right? Camina a comer. We have so many phrases, right? Oh my gosh. So many phrases. I remember, you know, we moved to Puerto Rico, and then at this point, I'm like 13 or something. And I hadn't been there long enough to learn all the, you know, the lingo, the colloquialisms and all that. And I heard my cousin call his brother sangre gordo. I was like, what? What does that mean? Sangre gordo. Oh, I laughed so hard. I was like, what? He just called him that? Muchacho sangre gordo, malcriado, manganzón, you know, all the words. But of course now, since then, I've learned them all, or almost all of them. So I'm going to use some ink like I did with the paper. I'm going to dye this pink so that we get a little more pink back in there. Oh my gosh. I think I'm going to need subtitles for my videos. Because they're becoming more and more bilingual by the day, which is, I think, it's fun, you know, because I end up learning a little bit of French and a little bit of German here and there, but nothing like that Puerto Rican lingo to get your point across anyway. Oh, pardon the glare, guys. You know what? Let me get that stamp platform back, because this is great for being messy anyway. All right, so let's do our thing here. I'm just going to add my ink right there. And these clean off really nicely with alcohol, just so you know. And I'm using Worn Lipstick, just Distress Oxide, okay? Because it's going to be nice and vibrant. What? My aunt would call me olive oil. Oh, stop it, Wandy. You know what? You know what my nickname was? Girl, you want to have a nickname competition? Oh, gosh. So, this is the Tim Holtz platform, which is illegal now in the United States. It is the best stamp platform out there, so just get it from the UK. Have them ship it over. And see the top? You can either do your stamping with clear stamps or with rubber stamps just by flipping it like this. And I love it because I'm left-handed, and it works for me. So they had a fight with another company, and the other company won, yada, yada, yada. But I'm glad I got my hands on it, that's all I'm going to say. So, yeah, I grew up with two brothers, and exactly, Wandy, that's why you just answered your own question, because of that company. They won the lawsuit against Tim Holtz, so he ended up having to, he's not allowed to sell this in the United States anymore, because it's too much like that other one, and copyrights and yada, 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 you know. But yeah, my brothers, I grew up with my brothers and all their friends, and they would call me bruja. So I was like, dang it, that's harsh, you know? But then I get to Puerto Rico, and this is something about Puerto Ricans, is they like to point out your physical features to you as if you didn't know you had them. So it's a cultural thing. We poke fun at everybody and everything, and it's like no child left behind. Everybody's gonna get poked fun at. So yeah. Oh gosh, I'm filtering your comments one day. Your comment is held for review. But no, you know what? He's fine, girl. Are you kidding me? He's not lacking for nothing. Oh, Mariana. So yeah, but my cousin, I'm gonna dry this real quick, guys. Bear with me. And I don't know if you can hear me over this noise, so if you could bear with me 1 second. I'll try to dry this without burning it, of course. And I just remembered something else. Woo! Pokemon! Alright, there we go. We're done. It doesn't work unless you burn yourself. Alright. So I was with my cousin one day, and he says to me, Flaca pelua. Flaca pelua. Oh gosh, I never forgot that. So I said, well, oh good, you can hear me. So I said, pues, pasa el gorda y calva. And he did not expect me to say something like that. I'm like, really? Seriously, man. Oh my gosh. We laughed so hard though, because he was like, oh man, what a comeback. All right, so I'm pulling out of my stash here a few flowers, and I forgot that I had this stuff, which I could have used rather than burning my hand. So let's use it all, guys, right? Few names. Bruja. Yeah. Yeah, we have our nicknames for everybody, you know? Like I call my husband Güero, you know? Which is it's a Mexican thing, and I'm not Mexican, but I figure he worked with Mexicans, so I poke fun at him, and but I don't know if he has, who knows if he's got a name for me. He's gonna have to tell me if he does, because I don't know. But yeah, it was always bruja, bruja, chapaya, bruja. All right, I'm trying to do a double bow as I laugh and do this, guys, which is not easy for me, but I'm gonna try to do it. Actually, I should probably string it with the other colors. Hello. I got this out because I wanted to use this color. And but that's how we are. It's kind of like a way of showing affection. Just give person a nickname they don't like. Okay, like that. You guys probably all know how to do this, but for me it takes me a minute. And I hope I get it right. No, I think my tails are too short. Hold on one second. These are the things I don't like doing in a live video because it takes me forever and a day just to get that done right. So if I fail at this, I'm just going to chuck it because I take too long. I know it's going to get in there somehow. Have patience with me. Because if I were a bruja, I would have had this figured out. Oh, yeah. Okay, it's gonna go. It's gonna go in. Say a prayer for me, guys. It's gonna go in. I need an assistant here. This is why those a lot of people get the gadgets to do these bows, right? All right, it's not gonna look perfect, but I got my bow. Now I have to take it off my fingers that I'm strangulating over here. Yeah, it's cute when it works, but in the meantime, you saw the struggle. Goodness gracious. It's not fun because you're tying up your own hands, your own fingers there. And then this business happens with the seam binding where you have to fiddle with it and get it back flat. But it is a crinkle bow, so it is going to stay like that. Right? And one of them is shorter than the other, but who cares? All right. So this is going to go here. Oh, should I put it on? See, now I don't know. On the top or on the bottom? Because I do want to add this little guy down here. Okay. So I'm probably going to have to glue him on there. But, speaking of glue, you would think that I would have my hot glue gun on. All right, while that warms up, let me show you. I have the flowers. So I have these little bitty flowers that I want to use. Let me see here. It might be too what do you call it? Too spring-like though. I'm trying to think. For a Christmas tag. What do you guys think? Should I even add flowers? Ooh, go, Karen. Gonna get the works, Karen. Oh, I'm sorry, Phil. Bruja means witch. It's an insult. That's what boys do, you know? You like it as is? Yeah, I don't know if I want to add the flowers. I think I just want to add the little bell. Because I'm going to add another string up here. because again, this is just going to be a little tag. Oh, and I forgot. I'm going to add a little bell. So that's going to go here also. Yeah, the little jingle bell. Almost forgot about that. And I might add, see now I had cut out, because this was my other option. I had cut out this little die cut and then I backed it up with vellum like I like to do. Then I cut it out with rose gold. I mean, I was kind of going all over the place because I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And in the end, I decided I wanted to add this little guy on top of that bell. Oh, thank you, Karen. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, ladies. I just want to make it festive, but not over the top. Because I really don't know, to be honest, I don't know the taste of the person that's going to be receiving this. I feel like I got a little ink in the wrong place there. And it would have been nice to have a way to get that on there with a string. But I'm not going to kill myself over this. I'm just going to glue. Oh, bye, Wandy. Yes, tend to the hubby. That's a good thing. I'm hoping this gets warmed up. I'm waiting 2 more minutes for this to warm up, guys. That's my own fault for forgetting entirely that I was going to be using hot glue on this. In the meantime, let me show you another card that I made with the same stamp set. Or actually a different one, but it's the same collection. So she also has this one, if you're interested in these. And I hate the reason for why I had to make the card, but I do like the results. So on here I use my TonicStudios designer series dies. And then I used this stamp. I'm going to show you in just a second. This one. I used this one. And this one's called All Weather Friends. And it has some really sweet sentiments also. So you can take a look at that. And then it had the little image. And I thought he was so adorable. So if you see there, I even added a little tear. And this I colored in with oxides. In fact, I think I did the whole bunny with oxide inks. And then I did this as well and added Nuvo drops. Yes, God bless you, Wandy. I hope you have a great weekend. So yeah, so there's that one. Thank you, Karen. I love the image. They're very, very sweet. All right, so I don't like this glue. It gets yucky, so I try to clean it off to the side. This glue gun, here we go. Sometimes it takes such a long time to heat up. I think that's the center. That's going to be kind of difficult to figure out, but there it goes. Okay, so there's my little double bow, crinkle bow. I'm also going to add this little guy here, but... Hi, Carolyn! Happy birthday, Carolyn! It is today, right? Happy, happy birthday! That's going to go there. And then I'm going to add the little bell. And these little bells are from Renee Bouquets, if you're interested. Whoopsie. This is just going to go right here. And all I did was I tied it with a little piece of twine that I had. And I think I got it at Michael's. And I'm just going to let that dry. So there it is. I like the results. And I mean, it's a little bit different. But I know all I'm going to do to this is add the little string here on the top. Oh, tomorrow. Tomorrow. Okay. I'm sorry, sweetie. Happy early birthday then. But yeah, that is my tag. Do you guys have any questions for me? Thank you. We colored this today here in this live video. which is why I've been here so long. We did the coloring. Thank you. Thank you so much. The only thing I didn't color live was this little image here. But this again was the, let me show you. Now that I made a huge mess on my desk here. This was the Ravishing Swirls die set, which I think, Carolyn, did you pick these up? Well, somebody did. Thank you. And we did it in this horizontal perspective, which I did not see coming, but you know what? I'm really happy with it. And then all I'm going to do is put the to and from on the back, and that'll be complete. Oh, okay. Then we use the Richard Garay folder to give that paper some texture, some oxide ink to give it a little depth. But I'm really, really happy with the results. And I know I took my time. That's what, you know, normally I would work a lot faster than that. But the other one, I want some feedback on this one before I let you guys go. Because I was thinking of doing this one with rose gold. Do you guys think that works? I don't know. And I don't know if I should put this one on top or not. Because this may or may not turn into a card. But this was my other option. I was kind of titubeando. I don't know how to say that, you know. Trying to make up my mind between one and the other. But I don't know if that rose gold plays well or not, or I don't know. Not the rose. Okay, thank you. Because that's what I was thinking. I'll use that somewhere else. Because here I cut it out in pink also. But then it just wasn't doing it for me. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think it was wishful thinking that this would work. And it just didn't. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I don't know if this is too pink or if I should just go with a different color altogether, because I kind of like that. You guys tell me. A different color? Okay. All right. So then I'm going to try to figure that one out, because I think what's going to end up happening is I'll probably pull out the blue here in the middle and use that, because it's all becoming far too pale. But I'll keep working on it, and when I'm done, I'll probably post pictures. And then, I don't know, I'll do something different with these little die cuts. You know me, I always figure out a way to use them anyway. So, but to do the mint, you know, that's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. But I'm not going to keep you guys any longer because we've been here a really long time. I did not anticipate that. And that's how it always goes though, right? But this was a lot of fun. I hope you guys have enjoyed your week so far and that you do enjoy this weekend. Of course, if you have any questions for me, feel free to reach out. And yeah, as I always say, yes, blessings to you also. Be inspired and be blessed. Thank you guys for joining me. Oh, and don't forget to visit Carolyn's channel and wish her a happy birthday, even though you can do it here. Yes, God bless you guys. Thank you so much. You're very welcome, Phil.